On September 8, 2016, Wells Fargo was fined $185 million for allegedly opening more than 2 million bank accounts and credit cards without their customers' knowledge. Although most of the accounts were closed before customers noticed these actions, which occurred between May 2011 and July 2015, they did result in additional fees and often affected their customers' credit ratings. According to the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, the Los Angeles City Attorney, and the Office of the Comptroller of the Currency, these accounts were opened so employees could reach aggressive cross-selling sales goals. These goals were mandatory and resulted in financial rewards and job protection. The bank's immediate response was to terminate 5,300 employees and to release a one-sentence statement saying that they regretted and took responsibility for the incidences. When asked a few days later if he would resign, John Stump, the bank's chairman and CEO, sidestepped the question and said his efforts were needed to lead the organization forward. Following these events, the FBI, federal prosecutors for New York and California, and the House of Representatives Financial Services Committee stated that they were looking into alleged misconduct which could initiate criminal charges. On September 20th, 2016, Stump testified at the Senate Banking Committee. When asked about the organization's ethics hotline, he said, "Each team member, no matter where you are in the organization, is encouraged to raise their hands." He mentioned the anonymous ethics line, adding, "We want to hear from them." Unfortunately, this was not the experience for most Wells Fargo employees. At least 10 former employees have come forward stating that they were actively punished or feared punishment if they reported ethics issues to the hotline. As a result of this, 2 class action lawsuits have been filed, one in Utah and one in California. During the Senate hearing with Stump, Senator Bob Menendez read an email that was sent directly to Stump in 2011. In the email, the writer described how she felt about the mandatory sales tactics. She said they were wrong. When Menendez asked Stump about the email and its results, Stump couldn't remember the details. Senator Menendez simply replied, "Okay, well, she was fired. So much for the safe haven." Afterwards, Wells Fargo issued a statement denying the allegations and stating that they will fight these misrepresentations to protect their many team members who did the right thing for their customers. The statement said, "Wells Fargo works hard to foster a culture that is centered on doing what is right for our customers and exhibiting high ethical standards and integrity. And the vast majority of our team members serve our customers' best interests every day in every interaction." As the bank continued to emphasize that their greatest asset was their team members, more employees and former employees came forward reiterating their fears about non-compliance and reporting wrongdoing. Over the next few weeks, Wells Fargo's board started an independent investigation. The board soon stated that Stump would not accept his $45 million commission and his annual salary. On October 12th, it was announced that Stump would retire immediately and that 2 employees would take over as CEO and chairman of the board. Tim Sloan, the new CEO, was quoted as saying that his immediate and highest priority was to restore trust in Wells Fargo. In a stated effort to promote accountability, on March 1st, 2017, the Wells Fargo's board announced that 8 senior executives were not going to get their 2016 cash bonuses and that their 2014 performance share equity awards were going to be reduced by 50%. The reduction in compensation was based on 2016's targeted bonuses and the bank's current price shares. In a statement, the chairman emphasized that this was not related to improper behavior. Tim Sloan, the CEO, also issued a statement. I fully support the board's actions and believe that they are critical to Wells Fargo's commitment to its customers. It's my personal mission to foster a culture of accountability at all levels of the company and to ensure that we are second to none in customer service and advice, ethics, and integrity. Today's actions are another step in that direction. Wells Fargo serves as a cautionary tale. When leadership is not interested in acting ethically and does not tie their sales goals to the organization's strategic goals, corruption is imminent. Today, Wells Fargo's leadership is taking steps in the right direction. Cross-selling is no longer mandated. They are actively changing their compensation package and tying compensation to overall performance. As the authors of How Strategic Is Your Sales Strategy said, most high-performing sales teams do carry with them a solid sense of company goals and priorities. But a sizable gap can exist between the way strategy is implemented in most parts of the organization and its role in sales. Wells Fargo is striving to resolve this. The process will not be quick or easy. It will not be an easy transition, but if they anticipate the challenges they will encounter and proactively address them, they will survive. This requires that their leadership set a new strategic direction. Seen as one of the four main tasks in the genuine responsibilities of a CEO, strategy is generally defined as the choice of the aspired future and the means of achieving it. This task involves developing a strategy in accordance with the external environment, simultaneously taking into account the internal context, the business reality, and the demands of the company's institutional configuration. Wells Fargo's leadership seems to be doing this now. They seem to be managing the firm's actions based upon strategic long-term goals, rather than short-term financial reports, quarterly earnings, or bonuses. As pointed out in The Crisis in Corporate America, The Role of Strategy. Without the context of strategy to guide their decisions, executives have no other choice than to manage by the firm's financial reports and quarterly earnings. But the financials are retrospective, and in an obsession with earnings leads to fraud. This was definitely the case with Wells Fargo. Therefore, the leadership must ensure that the organization's strategic direction, mission state, vision, and goals are tied to all aspects of the organization, especially their sales goals, and build an environment of trust where actions are not in line with the organization's stated ethics, with actions that are not in line with the organization's stated ethics are reported and dealt with immediately. Wells Fargo's leadership must serve as role models and oversee a culture of the organization. When alerted to an incident, they must take a stand. To do nothing is to support wrongdoing. They must also ensure that those who report those issues are supported and protected, not punished. Only by dealing with those issues immediately, not brushing them under the rug, will they ensure that Wells Fargo, as an institution, will survive.